Hello everyone, I'm so sorry. Y'all are going to be like, I'm not going to like her videos and I'm not going to subscribe to her videos because she is not a woman of her word. I am so sorry. I got so busy yesterday. Actually, I started filming the recap for episode 2 of season 5 of The Masked Singer. And my oldest son came home from work. I was about 16 minutes into it, I think it was, possibly 17. And he came home from work, and I don't like, we had stuff we had to talk about, and I don't like continuing making a video and being like, hey, I'm making a video right now or whatever, when it interferes with family business or what have you. But anyway, that being said, I am now going to make my video about the recap of episode 2 of season 5 of the I almost said of the season premiere of The Masked Singer. And I know that that episode 3 is going to be airing tonight. And I just saw that Joey was talking about the characters that are going to be introduced tonight on season 5 of The Masked Singer. So I guess the 4 wild card characters are going to be on tonight. It's possibly even 5 of them. I don't know. And I don't know why. Like, I guess they were trying to really keep under wraps who they were, but people found out before they actually came to be on there anyway. So what difference did it make, right? Anyway, the way I started doing this yesterday was I was reading when I was filming it before my son came home. I was reading the ones from last week and then going straight to the ones for that I wrote down when I rewatched episode 2, which are on the back of this page here. So I'm going to try to keep that format for this one. Now, one of the things that I remember from when I was filming that one for sure was that I had mentioned Seashell had a chameleon as her clue, and I believe that means that there's a connection between Seashell and Chameleon from this season. Now, I went back and looked to see who I had originally written down Chameleon to be, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense, because one of the people that I thought Seashell might be is connected to the original person that I thought might be Chameleon. So, and an issue I had when I was filming this one for episode 2 yesterday before my son came home was that as I was talking and I was reading the characters that were on episode 2, the ones that are in group B, I realized that when I rewatched the episode, I had not yet watched Piglet, because as I told you on my last video about this episode, Phoenix, who I have not named who was yet, but y'all watch the show, so you probably already know, but I will tell you at the end of this, at the end of this video, who Phoenix was, just in case you don't already know. But anyway, but yeah, I realized that I had not even watched for Piglet because I was thinking that Phoenix was the last one. Actually, no, I wasn't thinking that Phoenix was the last one. I was thinking that they had voted, and that was why they were talking about who the judges thought Piglet, who the judges thought Phoenix was. And I was like, oh my God, no, I can't do this. But, and I also made a comment when I made my last video about how perhaps Chameleon is Animal from the Muppets, because I had said that I thought it would be kind of funny and cool. You know, Kermit the Frog was on there. Well, you might as well have Animal on there too. Animal's one of the coolest Muppets that there is, in my opinion. He's my favorite of all times. Well, I like the Swedish Chef too. Can't lie. But, so Chameleon has like a motorcycle and DJing equipment, and Animal on the Muppets is a DJ, and he rides a motorcycle part of the time. And now that I think about it, he has super tall, super long legs, as does Animal on the Muppets. So that might turn out to be who it is, but I don't really think that's who it's going to be. So anyway, all of that being said, and me already being about 5 minutes into my video, make sure that you do subscribe and hit the like button. I'm not sure how many followers I have right now. I know it's not very many, but I could always use more. I'm going to try to do some videos about some other stuff too. I had some more car trouble today. It appears my starter's going out on my car. So yeah, my future son-in-law came over and helped us figure that out, and we got it up and running for now, but I will have to be buying a starter to put on. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. Anywho's and ways, that's enough about my personal life for this time, I think. So the characters that were in Group B, as I'm sure you all know, were Phoenix, Piglet, Black Swan, Grandpa Monster, and Chameleon. And see, I went to go to read that when I was doing the video yesterday before my son came home, and I read Piglet's name and I went, oh, I didn't watch Piglet when I rewatched it. But yeah, it is so. And I don't think that my clues, like I don't think there was a whole lot for Black Swan, who performed first and is an excellent, wonderful singer, definitely going to be in the finale in my opinion. I don't think that there was much that I saw for her when I rewatched the video and that I didn't already have written down, but I'm going to go through them twice. The clues that I caught for Black Swan. There was the number 5, which was on a pocket watch. There was a chess piece, which was a bishop. Ken mentioned. I couldn't figure out which chess piece it was. I'm like, I played chess. I should know what piece that is, but no. I couldn't think of it. I was like, is it a knight? No. Is it a pawn? It should ought to be a pawn. But anyway, it's a bishop. And there was an X, like X marks the spot, like they use on American Idol, except now they use American Idol, but they use that for a lot of dancing shows and a lot of different theater things and stuff like that. There was a palace, like a lot of female characters on this show have a palace in their clues. Pretty sure Seashell had one. Yes, a sand castle with bricks in it. And there was a red square, which may or may not refer to Russia. Oh, my hand's going to start cramping. Rheumatoid psoriatic arthritis. Not fun. So, anyway, I really need to get me a phone holder, which I keep saying, but I haven't done yet. Hey, let's check this out. Yay, you can't see me at all. Isn't that awesome? I know a lot of you are going, yeah, that's what I wanted, was to not be able to see you at all. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you can see me or not, in my opinion. So, oh yes, there was a net. I noted whenever I was recording yesterday before my son came home that whenever I was watching it yesterday, I didn't actually notice the net. But when I originally watched episode 2, I don't recall exactly at what point it was. I believe it was around the time that they were holding up the watch with the 5 on it, but it might have been whenever they showed the chess piece, which actually might have been the same time now that I think about it. But anyway, there was a net, like a volleyball net type looking net, or possibly a fishing net, and I didn't notice that when I rewatched it, like I said, but there was one. She mentioned Hollywood. There was a ring with a blue stone in it. Making sure that I have the right page there still. Yes, a ring with a blue stone in it. There were doves. It actually appears to me that for Black Swan, perhaps I noticed more stuff the first time I watched than the second time. But anyway. And so I also have written down that she performed to the song Barracuda by heart. And my first guess for who Black Swan was, which I'm still really liking, honestly, was Janet Jackson, though I'm not sure how some of the clues pertain to her. She had I was going to say she had the 5 brothers, but actually I think she had 6 brothers, but the Jackson 5, could definitely reference Janet, even though she never sang as part of the Jackson 5. But she mentioned whenever Niecy Nash, who's hosting this season, asked her why she chose to do this show or how she was liking it, something along that line, she said that it was out of her comfort zone, which leads you to think that maybe perhaps she is not actually a singer, but is some type of other performer. And my thought on it also was perhaps she's someone who hadn't sang in quite a while but used to sing. But, you know, when I watched her perform, I'm going, dude, like, she is really, really, really super good. This could be like Stevie Nicks or Madonna. And then she said it's out of her comfort zone. And I'm like, to sing Barracuda on The Masked Dancer, which is, you know, a real rock song. For a long time, I thought Pat Benatar sang that song, not gonna lie. But anyway, it's a real rock song, so maybe she sings but doesn't sing that style of music, which is something that we have seen with characters who say it's out of their comfort zone before. Though generally a lot of them will eventually in the show, and I think she's going to be on there until the finale, they will be like, I am used to singing a different type of music or something along that line, you know. But so the things that I wrote when I rewatched episode 2 were that the judges mentioned that she can move. She was energetic and dancing around, indicating that she was probably someone who is younger or possibly just in really super good shape. Now, I realized with the Masked Dancer and someone who is a TikTok star being on there, I may not always know who everyone on the show is and stuff, because I do not have the TikTok app on my phone. I don't intend to get it on my phone. I got so sick and tired of their commercials and ads and stuff. Like anytime I would play a game on my phone when TikTok first came out, TikTok, 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 do TikTok, do TikTok, download TikTok now. And I was just like, no, I'm not about TikTok. It's not my cup of tea. Now, you know, were I 30 years younger, yeah, I might download it, but no. My youngest daughter told my oldest grandson one time, you can't make a TikTok video unless you dance. You have to dance in a TikTok video, and yeah. So I wouldn't be making them, which isn't necessarily true, but at the time that's what everyone was doing, you know. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic again. So the other things that I wrote down for Black Swan on my rewatch, other than she can move, is that there was a snow-covered forest, which I don't recall noticing the first time. There was a wanted poster, and then I wrote down again, there was the 5 on the pocket watch. There was the ring that had the blue stone. There was the bishop chess piece, and the X marks the spot. There was the castle. She performed Barracuda by heart, did an excellent job. And at the first of her clues, they showed her, she was sitting, like it was a garden scene. I was going to say she was sitting in it. She was actually standing in it. But it was a garden scene. And on the wanted sign, it said, I meant to actually go back and look at this and see if I could figure it out. It looked to me like all of the word reward was highlighted except for the letter R. And then it occurred to me later that perhaps the letter R was what was supposed to be highlighted and what I was supposed to be looking at. So I was going to look and see what other stuff was the same color as the R. But I haven't got a chance to do that yet because car trouble and yeah, all sorts of stuff. My non-IVDD dog had a bit of an accident earlier today and is okay. She did not hurt herself, but yeah, she fell off the side of my bed, rolled all the way down the other dog's ramp, and I have some storage containers sitting underneath a table in my bed in my room next to my bed, and she rolled with her full force into those containers. But like I said, she didn't hurt herself. She's fine, so that was very good. Back to the Masked Singer, the Black Swan. She said, what she said about Hollywood was that she was hypnotized by the Hollywood dream, but her faithful flock came to her rescue. And that kind of made me think of Lindsay Lohan, because Lindsay Lohan was acting, you know, she was doing the whole Hollywood thing, singing some, doing more acting, and then she went to rehab and stuff like that. So that made me think of her. But then when she said it was far out of her comfort zone, it made me go, well, I mean, Lindsay Lohan is used to singing and performing. I don't feel that the song Barracuda would be that far from the type of music that Lindsay Lohan has performed. So, right now, I am kind of at an impasse for Black Swan. The best guess that I have right now is still Janet Jackson, though I see Janet Jackson doing the style of music like, I mean, Barracuda to me is not a far cry from the music that Janet Jackson does anyway. So, I don't know. But I'm going to be, I mean, I am super excited to see who Black Swan is, but I don't want her to go home for quite some time. So the next one that performed on episode 2, if I can get my pages to turn, excuse me, was Grandpa Monster, who did not do as bad of a job performing as I was thinking that he did. It was just kind of, he sounded to me like his voice was distant or not as amplified as the vast majority of them do, and he definitely, to me, sounds like he's an older person. I could be wrong about that. He might not be older, but that's how he sounds to me. Oh, and I forgot to read you guys. I have a list of the things that they said that all of the characters have, which if you're watching The Masked Singer, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, then you probably already know that list by heart. But my issue was whenever when the season first came on, the first episode, they flashed it at some point and it was only on the screen for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. I didn't have a chance to look at it good. And when I rewatched it, I started it. It got up to where they're introducing the first episode, to where they were introducing the first singer, which I want to say was Russian Dolls. And I was like, wait, I didn't see the thing that shows who all the stuff that all of them have, the gold medals, Grammy nominations, and that sort of stuff. So I took it back to the first again, watched up to that point again, still didn't see it. And I was like, what the heck? Am I like looking away and not realizing that I'm looking away or something? So I backed it up to the very, very first again, sat there, watched it, made sure I didn't look away from it at all as I was watching up till the Russian Dolls went to be introduced, and I didn't see it. And then I watched the whole entire first episode again, and I didn't see at any point in it where they showed that. So I was like, I'm confused because I know they showed it. It's like a guide for everyone to be able to try and figure out. I mean, it generally doesn't do me that much good because I don't know a whole lot. I don't know as much about celebrities as a lot of people do. So you're probably going, why do you even try to guess? But it's fun to try and guess. And it's fun to put out there who I believe that these people are, even though I generally humiliate and embarrass myself by getting maybe 2, 3, 0 right. But it's fun to try and guess, right? And I'm interested to find out who you all think they might be. So if you would like to leave a comment and tell me who you think some of these characters are, feel free to do so. Because somebody might be able to persuade me with their opinion of who someone is. It's happened before. That's all I'm saying. But now back to Grandpa Monster and finding my proper page here. Okay, so the clues I have for Grandpa Monster is that he doesn't appear to be a professional singer, but he can dance. He said something about not blaming him for who he used to be. And I was thinking about Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder, because he did, like, when Kevin Durant left the Thunder, he threw a big hissy fit, and the same with James Harden. I'm gonna say Kevin Durant again, but anyway, but yeah, he, has been known to throw some hissy fits, so I kind of thought maybe him, LOL, and then I noticed that he is wearing the one glasses thingy that's like colored, or like tortoise shell glasses type thing, which Russell Westbrook has been known to wear a lot. And I was like, but anyway, he said a lot of people will see him. When he was asked why he was on there, he said a lot of people will see him and know him, is what I thought that he said, but that's not what he said. I will tell you what he actually said whenever I'm looking at the ones from when I rewatched it, but I'm pretty sure that what he said was that a lot of people assume they know him. And there was a star, which to me indicates maybe he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know why that's not the first thing you would think of when you're watching The Masked Singer and there's a star. But a lot of the judges are just like not even going there with it, you know. Wow. Okay. And there was a heavyweight. I forgot what they're called. Cowbell. A cowbell weight. But yeah, there was one of those, and he called himself a troublemaking fool. And I was like, maybe it's Charlie Sheen, because we all know that he was a troublemaking fool. He got into a lot of trouble, and he's probably like, please don't recognize me as who I used to be, but know me for who I am now, you know, who I actually am. And I made a note there that I need to watch his clues again, which of course now I have done. And that being said, Grandpa Monster is the one that had football clues in his clue package, and the football, it was like a game plan for a football move, and it shaped to form the number 6, and they showed an old-fashioned grandfather clock. Like I said, to me, he still seems to be an older person, even though he can get along real well, and that's a lot because he said the stuff that he said about not remembering him for who he once was, but for who he has become. But yeah, he said stuff about him acting out. He started taking school more seriously. There was a paper that had a 97% on it. There were a whole bunch of numbers, which made me think that maybe he's one of the stars from the Numbers show. But I kind of tried to look into that, and I couldn't really find anyone that any of this other stuff made sense with to me. So as I said, there was the cowbell heavyweight. They also showed a bouncy ball several times, like the great big beach bouncy balls. He said he became a good student. And there was a record player, one of the old ones, a phonograph, I believe they're called. He called himself, or he said he was a troublemaker as a youngster. But when he started taking school more seriously, he put the I in Einstein. He had a bad reputation when he was younger. He hopes we're not afraid of who he was. A long time ago, there was a globe, which was actually at the first of his clues, but I kept forgetting to write it down, and I was like, no, I gotta write down the globe. It's probably important. It indicates the world to me. Or possibly the Globetrotters, but it was football stuff, not basketball stuff. But maybe one of them played football. I don't know. Anyway, he said a lot of people assume, like when she asked him about doing the show, he said a lot of people assume they know him, and basically that he's there to show them that he's not necessarily who they believe he is. People flying all over the freaking parking lot like idiots. But anyway. And so, yeah, I wrote down again that there was the star, which is possibly the Hollywood Walk of Fame star. So I did some looking into Chris Brown, because as we know, Chris Brown had a bad reputation. I was thinking maybe 97% stood for the year 97. I believe he was born in 1989. So I really wasn't able to find any connection to 97 with him. 97 in 1997, he would have been 8 years old. And I know well, I might be not remembering right now. I was thinking that Chris Brown was the one that danced as a backup dancer for Michael Jackson, but I might be wrong about that. But I was thinking that he did, in which case he might have done that when he was like 8, or even 6 for that matter. But I was also thinking that there was a football movie that Chris Brown was in, and when I tried to find out whether that was the case or not, I asked my trusty new Alexa Echo if he had been in a football movie, and she informed me that a Chris Brown who was born in, I can't remember if it's 1958 or 1968, but sometime around there, was in, I think it was 58, was in a football movie. My brain is telling me that perhaps he was in Remember the Titans. And I was like, but no, that's not the Chris Brown I'm asking about. I'm asking about the singer. So then I asked her specifically about the singer, and she told me that she couldn't answer that. But looking over the clues again, I was like, well, I don't know where the football connection would go with Chris Brown for sure. I mean, I can only assume that he was a good student, but like he was still a troublemaker after he got out of high school. And though he could have been talking about college or something, yeah, blow your boogers all over the place, you sicko. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, COVID's still around. Make sure you use that hand sanitizer about 8 times in there, buddy. Sorry, people are just so gross and nasty, and they wonder why stuff like COVID goes around. Anyway, so, yes, I was thinking about football. Somebody with the number 6 who has had a bad reputation at one time or another, and trying to decide who I thought Grandpa Monster might possibly be, and living in Oklahoma. I was going to say being from Oklahoma, not technically from Oklahoma, but anyway, but yes, living in Oklahoma and checking into football players that have the number 6, which for a long time I thought was Ben Roethlisberger's number, but it's not. I came across Baker Mayfield, and I was like, yeah, Baker Mayfield totally got stopped by the police one time in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and was charged with possession of marijuana. And I want to say he had some alcohol in the vehicle. I don't think that he was drinking and driving, but he had the alcohol in the vehicle. And he was suspended from the OU football team for a while because of it. And so, yeah, he could definitely, be considered to have had a bad reputation at one point because of that. So, for right now, and perhaps only for right now, my guess for Grandpa Monster is Baker Mayfield. So, I have lost my place. No! Oh my word, what the hell? Oh, right, okay. Jiminy Christmas. I had myself worried there. So, anyway, I mentioned on the video that I was making when my oldest son came home from work yesterday as I was filming that I did not detail the clues. I did not re-go through the clues about Phoenix because we all know that Phoenix got revealed. I will review the clues that I had written down for Phoenix though and see, it was kind of obvious re-watching who Phoenix was to me. But the next performer on episode 2 was Chameleon, who has a connection to Seashell. Don't forget. Seashell had a chameleon in her clues. I am certain that means there's a connection between seahorse. Oh my gosh. Seashell Shell and Chameleon. Okay? Mark my word. That's what that clue meant. And the judges haven't picked up on it yet. Maybe they will. Eventually. I think Robin Thicke will be the first one to pick up on it. Anywho. So, what I have written down in my clues about Chameleon, and I know I'm going to confuse myself on this again. Anyway, is that he said something about a wild ride, and he said he put the tech in Technicolor. I feel like these are my new clues. These are my new clues. Oh, no. Excuse me. Speaking of COVID, no, just kidding. I know COVID is nothing to joke about. I just have a dry throat because, oh my gosh. Actually, cedar pollen is high. Woo, I have an issue with cedar pollen. If you can see it or not, on my eye right here, I have the spot I've been rubbing. Oh my word, I rubbed it bloody last night when I was trying to sleep because cedar pollen. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, here are my old clues for Chameleon. Okay, so the first thing I wrote down for Chameleon on episode 2 of this season was Chameleon, Boy George, LMAO. You know, come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. That's Boy George, in case you didn't know. But anyway, so there was a motorcycle in his clues. There was a lot of wires, like connecting equipment type wires, technology wires. There was a lot of DJ stuff. And he said he used what his dad taught him. These are the clues that I caught the first time I watched it. He used what his dad taught him. There was a 007. And the judges kept talking about the number 7, and I kept going, no, dude, it's a 007. It's James Bond. It's not just the number 7. Anyway, there was a joystick. There was gaming stuff like a video game on a screen. And again, I wrote DJ stuff because there was a lot of DJ stuff. And I said that to me, Chameleon seemed to be on stilts. And my thought was perhaps Jaden Smith, which I was going to look into whether or not Will Smith ever did DJing stuff. I know Jazzy DJ Jeff did, but I'm not sure that Will Smith himself ever did the DJing stuff, which wouldn't mean that he couldn't have taught Jaiden to do some DJing stuff or other stuff that has to do with the music industry and acting. He said he loves being in front of people, whether on stage or in their home. So a lot of people were like, oh, so he's done TV and he maybe has done Broadway. I'm like, no, he performs as a singer, and right now he's performing to them in their homes. Might not be what it means, but it might. And the number 23 was also shown in his clues. As I mentioned the last time that I brought Jaden Smith into my regular guesses as to who might be a character on The Masked Singer. His birthday is October 23rd, which could be what the number 23 is referring to. And I was going to look into his height. I feel like I did, but I don't recall how tall it said Jaden Smith was. So, now the ones that I was reading a while ago, because I got myself all confused because my notes are so wacky. Anyway, so for Chameleon, on my rewatch, I noted that he said something about a wild ride, and he said he put the tech in technology. Oh, that just made me think of someone. What is his name? Y'all know him. Tech 9. Oh my gosh. Tech 9. I'm going to have to look into who his dad is now. Anyway. But yeah, he said something about a wild ride. He put the tech in technology. It showed some fuzzy dice hanging from the motorcycle. The license plate said camo flag. And I swore that I saw a bell like he's on a bicycle, but then when I was watching, like I backed it up some and watched that part again to see what the camo flag thing said, and I didn't see it. So I was like, okay, maybe I was seeing things. But yeah, there was a lot of video game stuff, the DJ equipment. It showed 007. It's really weird how I wrote this, actually, because I wrote DJ 007 equipment. Golly gee. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that was because I was writing down DJ equipment, and then I saw the 007, and I didn't want to forget it, so I went ahead and wrote it down. Makes sense, right? So, he's called his dad Pops, and it also referred to him as Dad. And he was talking about tinkering with gizmos and gadgets. And he said that his career tanked. So now I'm going, I don't feel like it could be Jaden Smith, because Jaden Smith is still so young that he hasn't really had an opportunity to have a career yet. But yes, he said his career tanked. And when that happened, he used the tech savvy gear his father had taught him about to come back. So now I'm thinking of two different people, Swizz Beatz and Tech 9. Not sure if I'll remember that, but I'm thinking of them. But anyway, and there was a sign that I didn't notice the last time that I watched it that said, "Beware of Pit," which made me go, Pit. Pardon me, Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry, I did not say that. Anyway, I'm not feeling like this person is at all Brad Pitt or Michael Pitt, because I don't see either of them doing DJ stuff or really techie stuff. But I thought the Beware of Pitt thing was interesting. And he performed to Ride With Me by Nelly. So, after re-watching it and thinking about all the tech stuff and all that sort of stuff, I was going to go ahead and write down Tech 9 and Swizz Beatz while I was thinking about it. But anyway, I'm not sure what I did with a pen. But yeah, after re-watching it, the person that I came up with that I think that it most likely is, before it occurred to me, you may recall if you watched my video about my recap of season 5 episode 1, that I was like, maybe Seashell is Jada Pinkett Smith, then Chameleon being Jaden Smith would make perfect sense, because she's his mom, right? But because of him talking constantly about his dad, his Pops, how proud he is of the stuff his father taught him, and the fact that his father was a DJ and so forth, led me, drum roll please, to little Romeo, whose dad is Master P. And I was like, wait, was little Romeo already on here, or were we just all guessing him? And I looked up, and from what I saw, he wasn't. So, once again, he said he loves being in front of people, whether on stage or in your home. There was the number 23 and the number 007. I don't know how many other people know this, but through my Google research, trying to find out who I thought perhaps, maybe, possibly, Chameleon might be, trolling my seat back. Anyway, I discovered that Romeo Miller, his actual name is Percy Romeo Miller, aka Little Romeo, is being considered as the possible next James Bond. Don't know if anybody else knew that or not, but yeah, I found that out. So, it was a story on IMDb, as well as 2 other things that I found on Google. Romeo Miller being considered to play the next James Bond. I think that would be super cool. Just saying. And now I'm going... I keep losing where my other section is. Oh my god! Ah! Anyway, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Anyway, my notes are so... No. So... this is the first one. Okay, so yeah, apparently I didn't write much down for Phoenix on this one either, and I didn't even notice very many clues for Piglet. So, if any of you guys noticed clues for Piglet that I did not notice, do me a huge favor and let me know, because I know there has to be some stuff that I'm missing. So these are the clues that I have, which is why I was so confused, for Phoenix and Piglet from my original viewing of episode 2 of The Masked Singer. What I have for Phoenix is that she said she's on the cover of many magazines. There was a sports car. There were stars, a lot of stars. There were lanterns and candles. She said she missed many chances to tell her dad her truth. There was a crown. I thought perhaps it was the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire that I cannot remember his name, the one that played for his brother, that was the hairdresser and makeup artist on there, that made like his face for him and stuff. He said he flies all of the time. I did not originally write down what song he performed to. There were the letters M-E on there, which, now that I think about, I am still not sure what means. Is this my son coming? No. Okay, I was like, wait, what? I've been here that long. Anywho's and ways. Sorry. But yeah, I was like, maybe RuPaul. I don't know why I didn't write down a lot of this stuff. I think just because I figured that I would remember it. But there was quite a bit of rainbow stuff and LGBTQ type stuff. It was pretty obvious that the person was either transgender or I don't know, possibly someone from the gay community, someone who is known for their pride and stuff such as that. And as I said, Phoenix was the one that got revealed. There was something else that I was going to mention. Oh yeah, when he said, she said that she has been on the cover of many magazines, and when it was revealed who Phoenix was, I was like, well, maybe if you'd said your face had been on the front of a lot of cereal boxes, I'd have known exactly who you were. For those of you who may not already know who Phoenix was, that might give it away. Anyway, I'm going to tell you at the end of this video who Phoenix is. And my color is really weird. It's really overcast here and fixing to get dark. Well, I say fixing to get dark. It's probably only like 7:30 or so. But yeah, it's really super, super overcast. It's been kind of raining off and on all day. And you're not watching this to find out about the weather in the Oklahoma City metro area, are you? Anyway, so the last one to perform was Piglet. Now, what I wrote down for Piglet as he came out and I saw his shape and form and stuff, and the way he was acting when he came out, and he was like being comical and kind of giddy and stuff. And I wrote down Jack Black or Will Ferrell. His clues had a lot to do with heartbreak. He said he loves being on stage. He was talking about discovering that some flowers, like he likes to pick flowers, but he's discovered and he's handed out a lot of flowers in his time, I think he said, but he's discovered some of them have thorns, and he was holding a rose, so roses with thorns. And we know that it's not the guy from Poison, Bret Michaels, because he's already been on here, right? There was a clock with noon on it, or midnight. Midnight Clock, is that a song? And so that was all that I had for Piglet from the first time that I watched it, and I didn't catch much. I didn't catch much the second time either. Golly gee, pardon me. But what I have from my rewatch of episode 2 is that, Piglet was talking about love. There was a park setting. It showed a lot of question marks. Like there's a lot that's unanswered. Maybe there's a lot of mystery. It showed a tattoo on his arm that had either an axe and a heart, or perhaps a sledgehammer and a heart. I feel more like it was a sledgehammer and a heart. There was that clock that was at 12. That was possibly midnight or noon. It showed a candle. I don't know why I wrote park setting twice, but I did. Maybe they went back to it. Roses have thorns. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He was a really, really super good singer. And he sang the song Speechless, which I forgot to look and see who sings. And he said that he loves being on stage also. So I was listening to him, and I'm like, wow, he really, really, really can sing. Some of the judges were like, this is not Adam Lambert, because Ken Jeong was thinking Adam Lambert, who is another one of my go-to people. And I was like, but I mean, like, it could be. Like, Jenny McCarthy is always like, that doesn't sound anything like Adam Lambert. And I'm like, but yes, it does. But anyway. But yeah, so it's somebody that implied that they've had trouble finding love. But the stuff that he was saying about handing out had a lot of romantic, like the little lights that you put up in parks, or a lot of restaurants have them up now, even the tiny white Christmas lights that had a lot of candles. And to talk about, like he said, he's handed out a lot of roses. It had me thinking about the guy that is the host on The Bachelor. I cannot think of his name. Anyone knows? Say it in the comments if you've managed to watch the video for this long. I'm at 48 minutes, I just now realized. But yeah, the guy that is the host on The Bachelor and Bachelorette was who I thought of, because he hands the roses to the people as they hand them out. And so I was like, well, maybe that's who it is, but can he sing? Like, I don't know. This guy sings really well, in my opinion. And so I'm sure there's most likely also people who hand out flowers at their own concerts. And so I need more clues on Piglet, y'all. If anyone saw anything that I didn't see for clues on Piglet, the question mark, no, the Riddler is the one that does the question marks. I was about to be like, Joaquin Phoenix learned to sing for Walk the Line, and I've guessed him on at least 2 different seasons. And I was thinking that the Joker was the one that had the question marks. I always make that mistake, but that's the Riddler. So I'm at an impasse for Piglet too. Like, a lot of them this season just have me stumped. I don't know who they are. But yeah, so Piglet, honestly, I was thinking could be Jack Black, because of the stuff he said about heartbreak and not being able to find true love and stuff. And then I discovered that Jack Black is married and has been for quite some time. So probably not him. But anyway, if any of you have any ideas, any thoughts on who any of the characters are, be sure and let me know. I will not be watching The Masked Singer tonight. Unfortunately, I still do not have an antenna for my TV, so I will be watching it on Hulu tomorrow morning. I am not working tomorrow, so I will try to go ahead and make my video on that tomorrow. And now, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbye for now. So I can write down Tech Nine and Swizz Beats might possibly be Chameleon, but I'm almost sure it's little Romeo, so then I need to try and find out who Seashell might be that's connected to little Romeo. I bet it's Master P. No, just kidding. Anyway, everyone have a good whatever time of day or night it is in your part of the world. Stay positive, stay safe. Keep watching The Masked Singer. Keep watching my videos about The Masked Singer and various other things. I'm going to try to do a video. I don't recall if I finished saying that earlier or not. I'm going to try to get a good video of Damon walking, running around, playing around, whatnot, and the other. So you guys can see how well Damon is doing now. Those of you who were following his IVDD incident, he is still doing very well, still sees the chiropractor once every 3 weeks for preventative treatments. But yes, he's doing very, very, very well. And I'm talking too dang much again. And I am actually going to go right now. So still, everyone have a great whatever time of day or night it is in your part of the world. Stay positive and stay safe out there.